Hi and welcome to Terry Talks Movies. This time around, we're looking at Paul Thomas Anderson's new movie, and it is a great one. It may be one of his best. It may well be a movie that defines the current moment in history. And I know that's an enormous call, but I'm making it. It is, of course, One Battle After Another, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Regina Hall, Teyana Taylor, and Chase Infinity. It's based on Thomas Pynchon's novel Vineland from 1990, which I did read in around 1991-92. And I nearly didn't see the movie because of a glitch in the Matrix. Because I went down to the local cinema today and I showed them my pass so I could get a media comp ticket to review the movie. And they gave me the ticket, Cinema 5, they said. So I walked all the way down the hall to Cinema 5. There are 10 cinemas in this complex. And I get in there and there's a lady with an industrial vacuum cleaner hoovering up the popcorn from last night's sessions. I look at my ticket again to see where my seat is and to kind of work my way around the lady. And I found out they gave me a ticket to A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey with Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell. That's not what I wanted to see. So walk all the way back down to the other end. Politely give them the ticket back, get the proper one, go to Cinema 3. They gave me the best seat in the house according to the ticket seller, and they're the ones who know. And I watched the movie. Got nothing against Margot Robbie, got nothing against Colin Farrell, but it wasn't where I was headed. And I went into One Battle After Another, not knowing a lot about it. I don't even think I saw the trailer, but some people said I might like the film, and my spidey sense told me, don't do any research about the movie. Go into it cold and just see how it goes. The buzz was already good about the film, but I really went into it tabula rasa. So what's it all about, Alfie? I'm going to tell you. The movie starts 16 years ago, where a guy called Ghetto Pat Calhoun, who later adopts the name of Bob, and Perfidia Beverly Hills are members of a far-left revolutionary group called the French 75. They do some really cool things like breaking into immigrant detention centers and letting the people out. They bomb political offices and banks and destroy the power grid by knocking down high tension lines. They're basically there to stick it to the man. They're not killing anybody, but they're destroying infrastructure. And of course, the people detaining immigrants, because it's not illegal to be an immigrant anywhere in the world. United Nations Charter says so. But various countries, including my own, disagree with that. And if you think I'm getting political, yeah, I am, because it's a very political movie. You can't really dodge that particular spotlight with this film. So this revolutionary group, the French 75, go around, they let people out of the immigrant detention centers. And when they're doing that, Perfidia sees a man called Stephen J. Lockjaw, who's the soldier in charge of the camp. He's played by Sean Penn. And he's a wrong'un. Lockjaw is instantly attracted to Perfidia, and she often uses her sexuality to get what she wants from men. So him and her have an interaction. And later on, when she's putting a bomb in a bank, Lockjaw finds her and tells her he's not going to arrest her if she meets him in a motel, which she does. Perfidia is also having a relationship with Pat, soon to be known as Bob, played by Leonardo DiCaprio. And Perfidia is played by Teyana Taylor. I forgot to mention that. And she ends up having an affair with this very kinky and very nasty soldier, played by Sean Penn, who has so many screws loose he rattles. After the French 75 do a bank robbery, and Perfidia kills the bank guard, she's caught by the cops, and Lockjaw cuts her a deal. If she becomes a state witness and names names, he'll put her into witness protection. And she does that. She squeals, she becomes a rat. And she's put into a house, and her and Lockjaw continue their relationship. But what Lockjaw doesn't know at that point is that Perfidia's had a daughter, and that Pat thinks the child is his. This child, whose name ends up being Willa, is when she grows up, played by Chase Infinity, a really fine young actress who does fantastic work in the movie. After being put into witness protection, Perfidia sneaks off and goes to Mexico. We never see her again. Cut to 16 years later. Bob, the character who was known as Pat, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, has been living in the sanctuary city for 16 years, raising Willa, thinking she is his daughter. Whether she is or not, you'll find out later in the movie. Willa's grown up a really strong kid. She goes to a karate school, which is run by a guy called Sergio San Carlos, played by Benicio del Toro, who is a karate teacher and a ninja. But he also runs underground railway for undocumented people in his town. He houses people. He gets them to other places safely. He's part of a underground network, which includes a lot of revolutionaries and all the people at the top find dangerous. And a few things come together. First off, another member of the French 75 is caught by the authorities and tells them where Bob and Willa are. And so Lockjaw, who has another thing going for him, fakes a conflict in the town, saying that it's got drug dealers and all sorts of nasty people in it. And they're going to lock down the town and search it and find all of these nasty pasties. There's a double purpose to Lockjaw doing that. First off, he wants to find Willa. And he wants to give her a DNA test to find out whether she's his daughter. And the reason he wants to do this is he wants to become a part of a white supremacist organization of very wealthy men who secretly pretty much run America. And they're called the Christmas Adventurers Club. And they are testing him. And he wants to find out whether Willa is his daughter. And if she is, he wants to kill her. So he cuts off that loose end. And meanwhile, the Christmas Adventurers Club don't want to have anybody as a member of their thing who has had any kind of interracial relationship. It's all about keeping your body pure, according to them. And there's a term that comes up later in the movie where Lockjaw claims that when he did have intercourse with Perfidia, she kidnapped him and assaulted him, and she was actually a semen demon, which is kind of hilarious. The movie is very funny in parts. So Lockjaw is trying to find Willa and Bob. Meanwhile, Sergio helps Bob escape from the authorities, and we find out as the movie progresses, there's a vast network of underground revolutionaries in America who work working class jobs. They're nurses, they're cleaners, they're all sorts of people at that level who are protecting people who are working against the rich and powerful. Meanwhile, the rich and powerful have some very powerful resources at hand. This movie's a great action film. I haven't even mentioned that. There's a few things you can take away from this film. And first off, if you're an action film fan, there is a car chase in this film which is done in a way unlike any other car chase I've ever seen. It's out in the desert on hilly roads, and there's Willa driving a car. While she's got restraints on her hands, there's a hitman for the Christmas Explorers Club, a guy called Tim Smith, played by John Hugenacker. He's like the Anton Chigurh of the movie. And also Bob's in another car searching for Willa. And there's this chase over these desert hills, which ends spectacularly. And it's shot really well. The movie was made with VistaVision cameras, 35mm film. So the grain is fantastic. The movie looks terrific. It really is shot well. And it's shot incredibly well using all sorts of different lenses on this car chase. I'm sure there's going to be a video at some stage unwinding how Paul Thomas Anderson shot this car chase, because it's about to become iconic. There are also a whole bunch of good one-ers in this. One-take long scenes. There's one in Sergio's house, which is really good, where he introduces Bob to all of the people who are staying there. And they go back and forth in their while Bob tries to find a place to recharge his phone. And there are a couple of other really good oneers in this movie. And there are some fantastic drone shots, which are used a lot differently than other drone shots. Second thing you can take from this movie is there's not another movie that feels like it. No other film I have seen feels like this. Just the whole vibe of the film is very, very different from anything I've ever seen. And I love that. It renewed my love of cinema, which is something I borrowed from Mark Kermode's comment about the movie. The movie hits, and I've used this term a lot on the channel, the movie hits the zeitgeist of this moment in American history better than any other movie I've seen. It gives us a fractured, failed state America, which is what we actually have. We have revolutions of people who are helping them. We have a secret society of rich white bastards who have vast tunnels underneath wealthy neighborhoods and large office buildings that are kitted out with some very interesting extras in their office buildings. And we see that at the end of the film. We have a place where the military has been politicized for the purposes of the very wealthy and white people in particular. People like Bob, who have been damaged by the fact that the authorities have their thumb down on him and he's been hiding for 16 years. And meanwhile raising an extraordinary young woman who he thinks is his child and whom he loves. The movie is unique. And it's one of those movies that 5 years from now it's going to get a Criterion release. It's going to be talked about for many decades as a film of 2025 that encapsulates the culture and the politics of America in 2025. Never mentions Trump, doesn't even go there, but the shadow of Trump is all over this film. And because of that, it's going to piss off all the right people. It's going to be something that when the right wing actually see it, when it comes on streaming, because of course they won't go to the cinema to see a film like this, all the right wing pundits are going to get up on their hind legs and cry like babies. And I'm good for that. I love the fact that that can happen, and it will happen. So we've got that going for it. It's beautifully shot. It's fantastically acted. It's the best role by Leonardo DiCaprio since Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Benicio del Toro's fantastic. Regina Hall's in there as well. Tiana Taylor playing Perfidia is just luminous. And Chase Infinity playing Willa is really, really spectacular. She's a 24-year-old actress. She's playing 16. But she does some heavier lifting in this film, not only from an action viewpoint, but from the emotional beats as well. And she stands shoulder to shoulder with the older, more experienced actors. This is her first movie role, and I can guarantee it won't be her last. And even in the smaller roles, we've got Tony Goldwyn in there as Virgil Throckmorton, a member of the Christmas Adventurers Club, who is evil as hell, along with the other members of the club. Supporting cast is fantastic. The look of the film is great. Like all Paul Thomas Anderson films, it cost a lot of money. It was $120 million. And it's not going to make the money back. But it's going to be one of those movies that becomes a treasure. And it's going to be a Hallmark movie, not in the Hallmark greeting card sense, but it's going to be an important movie for the middle of the 2020s. Along with Sinners, Ryan Coogler's Sinners. Sean Penn is terrific as Lockjaw. The poisonous, self-loathing, just ugly military man in this. And I know not all military people are like that, but I can guarantee anybody that's been in the military or around them knows someone like Lockjaw. An incredible film and a gutsy film too, because making a movie that's critical of the mythology America tells itself about itself is a dangerous thing in 2025 if you're an American. But this movie does it. And like any troubled era, our current moment will be defined by cowardly films and gutsy films. And this is definitely a gutsy film. You should see it. When it comes out in physical media, I'm definitely getting a copy of it. I don't care about the extras particularly, but it's definitely a movie I want to add to my collection. So that's what I got for you this time around. An incredible movie I saw today and nearly didn't see because of a ticket upset. Check it out if you haven't. Let me know what you think of it if you have. And let me know whether you're going to see it or not. It's a slow burn at parts, but it builds and builds. And there's a point in the movie where you don't know what the hell's going on. But then you find out. So thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You can also support the channel by becoming a channel member or by becoming a patron at patreon.com/TerryTalksMovies. Next up, we've got Science Fiction Saturday again. Then we've got the Monday video. It will be a video rather than a live stream because we're in the off week for that. And we're all going to have fun watching movies and talking about them. So until then, watch some good movies, watch some bad movies. Check out one battle after another. And I love the fact that it actually references the Battle of Algiers because that's important too. And I'll catch you next time.